Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast, presented to you by Music Never Stopped. Today is Thursday, August 14th, and today on the podcast we have Ethan Johnson.
What are you doing, podcast for Lot?
Yeah.
Come be on a Lot podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, All Jammed Up.
This dude's doing a podcast. If you want to be on some podcast, come give an interview.
Hell yeah.
All
Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. I'm your host, Clint Dotson. And today we have back on the podcast Ethan Johnson, a good buddy of mine, local Asheville musician. You might remember him. He came on pretty early in the podcast. We might have been like under episode 20 when he came on, but we just got hammered last time and rambled about nothing for I don't know how long it was. But he's back and we're sober and we have a really fun time. We chat about Colonel Bruce Hampton, and I hear this name all the time, but I don't know that much about this guy. And he came on, told me all about Colonel Bruce Hampton. We talk about just different projects, and he just kind of lets us into his brain as a musician. I think it's a great interview. I love that dude. And then on the back end today, we have a super fun Chloe's Corner. After the Minneapolis show this past weekend, I was like, I thought that was like almost the perfect set list, and it got me thinking, what would my perfect set list be? So Chloe and I made one. It's going to go on Instagram on Friday too, so everyone can kind of debate it and say what yours is or what have you. And then, so great episode for you today. I have a lot of really fun interviews coming up. I know there's been a lot of local people. There's been a lot of virtual interviews as well, but this summer's been crazy, man. Weddings, bachelor parties, family stuff, all of the above. But my schedule's finally opening up. We're going to have some really fun interviews soon. And it starts today with Mr. Ethan Johnson. Let's get right into it.
Hey, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Only one, in my opinion, who's allowed to say it. Anyone else says it, I'm like, oh, my dog.
Everyone else does we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. And he hits take a quick pause for the cause. Go get a drink. Tip your bartenders.
You wonder what the cause is, though. Everyone has their own cause. What do you stand for? What is your cause during sex?
Yeah.
Mine is to have a panic attack.
Dude,
I freak out.
Seriously, especially if I'm on a show by myself.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's with their groups of friends. I went to the Kid Blast and the Blasters.
Oh, yeah.
I went to that like 2 weeks ago. I went by myself. And I just got a little stoned. I wasn't drinking because I was driving myself home. And like during set break, it was like everyone was drunk because it was a late night show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm by myself and I'm just kind of like twiddling my thumbs
little
waiting
high.
for them to come up with the music.
And when you're the only high one and everyone else is drunk, it's like a different vibe. You're
Well,
like,
luckily, Alex and Ben came out front and talked to me, and they were asking about the show, so it was an easy conversation transition.
Yeah, you at least just don't want to be left alone with your own thoughts. You're like, I'll butt myself into a friend group. I'll be like, hey guys, I'm a little freaked out. Do you guys want a friend? Can I join y'all?
That makes me feel good. I'm not the only person that has that feeling during set breaks.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to the podcast.
Welcome. Oh my God.
That
Thank
was
you
kind
for
of a
having
perfect
me.
little intro there.
Yeah, thank you.
We were talking about set breaks and Alex Bazemore's Pause for the Cause.
Yeah, he loves those. We all love them.
And if you guys remember, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while now, because that one was kind of a while ago.
That was. I think this is technically my third appearance, actually.
Yeah. That's something that people don't know is that the very first Lot podcast, you just walked right up to us.
Like, what's up?
Third appearance then puts you at, I think, tied for number 2.
Ooh.
Yeah,
There we go.
Bazemore has 4, and then do you know that dude Mason? He doesn't live here. He like.
Yes, I met him. I met him and his dad at Panic the first night.
Okay.
I was only there the first night, though.
He's been on every Lot podcast, I think. He's out there, man.
They get around, bro.
Yeah,
they're out
are
there.
Cool as fuck, though.
Yeah, he was real sweet.
He's been on 4 times because he wasn't on the first Lot podcast, but he was on Lot podcast 2 and the third one. And then I interviewed like that whole little group, like
Yeah.
Sean, Mason, Manis, Troy, and Gigi.
Yeah. I remember their interview. Yeah.
Yeah, because I asked Sean. I saw that he played with Billy on Lot, and I was like, "Yo, let's do an interview." And he was like, "For sure, I'm down." And he just brings his whole squad, and I was
Let's
like,
go.
"Whatever, that's cool."
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother. Thank you again for having me.
Of course.
But no, I didn't get to talk to Mason for too long. I met him at the Panic show, and it was like right before we were like mid freak out, or right before we left. We like went over to the smoking section. They closed it. We went to the top one. They closed it.
Why
we were
they
like,
close it?
I don't know. It felt like it was like it was like felt like they were doing an experiment. Like, let's put a bunch of Panic fans in one room and tell them that they can't smoke cigarettes. Let's see what happens.
Fights.
Ooh, fights. It just gets dark real quick.
I bet you the Asheville crowd was different than the Charleston crowd, though.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
I mean, still kind of the same general widespread.
It's a Panic crowd.
Yeah. It's funny, before I like got too into jam bands, really, like, and I was just going on like dead shows and listening to Billy Strings, I would always hear the worst things about the Panic fans.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that bad.
I'm from Athens. I'm used to them.
Yeah.
They were like, I was like, I kind of get it. It was like, this is the most home I felt at a jam band show. Not to say I don't at like Billy shows, because like there's a lot more, I guess, love and light. It's like the classic term for it. But like, it's like, it's still just reminding me of being in Athens, even though Athens isn't just an entire Panic lot. It can feel like that at times.
Yeah. I feel like the Billy shows, though, they can get darker the closer you get to the stage. There's some real crazy people out
It's just
there.
those weird rail riders.
Yeah.
It's just people who are like, I'm going to sit here and this is my spot. And I don't know.
It's like a grown man. Like, why are you acting that way, man?
Yeah, I don't know. Just let the kids, you've seen your shows. Let the kids get up there. Let the kids have fun.
Kids are like really older people. Like, if really older people, like, I would say, like, if you're over 60 and you still want to get in the rail, let them get in the rail.
Oh, yeah. There's a point. There's like a bell curve.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Bell curve is a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, though, and we're not as fucked up as we were last time.
Oh, well, we'll see how we get toward the end of
I
the
don't
show.
think I could get that fucked up in this amount of time.
No, that was scary. I don't think we got too fucked up. I think it was just No, actually, we did get a little fucked up.
I listened back to it the next day, and you could just hear me like, like burping throughout the whole interview.
This time I'll just throw up onto the mic.
That's what these covers are for.
That's what it's for. The mic will still be okay. It'll be fine. Just take a wet wipe over it. It'll be
Exactly.
good. It'll be good.
I've had a few beers on this podcast, like a few times. Usually the Lot podcast, I'll catch a little buzz. And I've done, like, me and Bazemore got a little tipsy one time, but like that episode was the only one I was like fucked up.
We were like talking about conspiracies. We were trying to. At least.
Maybe just go all the way over.
I felt like that was a good like
Your notebook's
rationalization
still
for that.
right there.
Oh,
It's one of those two.
maybe we can. I think it's this top one. I don't want to steal your social security card.
Yeah, it's probably gonna need that. I will say the
might need
pin
that.
that you had with that was
Gone.
the best pin ever.
Oh no, I know. You can have it.
It
It's
was
fine.
such a good pin.
I don't need it. I don't need it. It was okay. So now we can wait. This is a set list. I wrote. We can touch back on our CIA topics.
Why you
if
brought
we
up
want.
set list though? Do you make a lot of set lists for your shows?
You know, I like depending on the show. It's like, and depending on who I'm playing with. Like, I have a lot of times where I just know some songs that are like two chords and the truth, and I just know them, and I don't even have to explain them to my band members, and I'll just call them. Also, the band I play with, Davey and Chance in the Void, they just call tunes. We don't even. Sometimes, like if we learn a new song, like
And that's
the
a dead
last,
band mainly, though?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Chattanooga dead band that I play in. Because Davey has St. Owsley, which is going to be at One World West, August 29th. I repeat, One World West, August 29th. St. Owsley, Davey, Joel, Hill, Radley, and am I forgetting someone? I'm
You.
going to feel really bad. I'm not in
okay.
Owsley. I'm in Chance. There's Owsley,
Okay.
which is his Jerry Garcia tribute, which is mainly just Jerry Garcia band tunes. And then Chance in the Void is the Grateful Dead tribute, where we jam and experiment a little more. And then Tennessee's Dead is Davey's other Dead band, where they'll do like a mix of Jerry tunes and Dead tunes. But they're kind of a little more structured with it. I feel like we're Chance in the Void. I don't want to say lackluster, but we're a little more chaotic. We just go out there, don't plan a set list. Like Davey will start playing like the notes of Sugary, and then we're playing Sugary. And and if there's like a new tune, like we've done times where like when we had to learn like Estimated Profit or Help Slip or Greatest Story Ever Told, like we will maybe hit that during a sound check. I've rehearsed a couple times with them, but we rarely plan a set list.
Maybe I can interview him when he's down here. That
I'm
weekend.
trying to get him down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we'll make that happen on the
Yeah.
29th, end of the
That
month.
would be cool.
Yeah, I'll text him about it.
Cool.
Yeah. But
Back to set list. So the reason I asked
Yes.
is on the back end of this episode for Chloe's Corner this week, the Billy show on Saturday in like Minneapolis was like close to a perfect set list.
I
for
saw
me.
you post about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fire set list. So me and Chloe had this idea. We're like, let's make our perfect
Tangled Up
Billy
in Blue
set.
was on there.
The Tangled Up in Blue into All Fall Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, shit.
But Chloe and I were like, let's make our own perfect set list and then talk about them in Chloe's Corner. So stay tuned for that. That'll be on the back end. Ooh. But I realized how hard it was to be like, I got to make sure this song like matches this song and like where I want the energy to be going to this one.
And then when you know more about music theory and you're like, okay, if I'm going to go from this song to this song, is it in the same key or is it in a key that I can easily transition into that key to that key?
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out when I wrote it, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to transition well or not, because I know that Tangled Up in Blue is like perfect. You can hear it like in the first minute of the Tangled Up in Blue. You're like, he's probably going to go into All Fall Down here.
You could feel the bounce to it because all kind of I like and it becomes a different animal when you like know the music theory, and it's just another aspect of, okay, if we're going from this song, blah blah blah, it's got to be right. And that's kind of why I also just like going out and winging it, because you can kind of feel what song is going to be the best decision to play next, like in the moment, because there's so many, like, I don't like rehearsing, I don't like planning set lists, because like there's so many factors that you can speculate before you get on stage. That's like, we're going to do this. But then when you're on stage and you're in the moment, like you just kind of have to, you got to wing it. It's like, no matter what happens, it never goes exactly the way you plan it.
And especially in this music too, that's like all improv music. It's like, I hear that when I first heard that, it's like, oh, we don't have a set list. We just play and go into it. I was like, how is that even possible? But then like doing more of these interviews and kind of just going to shows and having these conversations, I feel like I've learned just so much more about music. And I'll be at a show and I'll be like, oh, they didn't plan to do that. They just went into that there. Yeah. And you can tell, like, for example, the Kid Blast show, again, like they did a Tangled Up in Blue into All Fall Down.
Oh, they did that too.
Yeah, they did it. And when they did it, Ben on the drums was just kind of like keeping rhythm and not really doing anything. And I was like, I bet this wasn't planned. And he's like, I don't really know this song, so we're just going to keep. And him and Hannah kind of did their thing.
Yeah. Well,
I asked Alex, and I was right.
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, because I played with Hannah for the Panic pre-party on the Friday night that Panic played at the Third Room. And we did All Fall Down. And Ben was on that gig as well. Okay. So he'd heard it, but like sometimes I don't even know. I didn't know what their set list was. But bummed I missed that. I can't remember what I was doing Saturday night. I was somewhere doing
not
something.
This Saturday, but last Saturday.
Oh, I was in Virginia at Floyd Fest. Shout out.
Yeah, you were. You played with Abby Bryant band, right?
Played with Abby Bryant 2 days. That was a fun freaking time. I got to meet Oliver and Chris Wood from the Wood Brothers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I love Chris Wood because of Medeski, Martin, and Wood. Like, I didn't know about the Wood Brothers because Medeski, Martin, and Wood is like a jazz trio, but they play funk and they write funk standards. And like, because I was going to jazz school and I was like trying to learn like Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie and like rhythm changes, like the weird like 4 million chords in one song type tunes. But like, it was kind of nice to have a perspective of learning jazz through funk, whether it was like Herbie Hancock and the Headhunters or like John Scofield's tunes. But Medeski, Martin, and Wood play standards that are kind of like funk jazz adjacent, so
and
it was a good
Medeski
way.
In that band?
John Medeski.
Okay.
He plays keyboard, organ, just keys. He's a keys player, and he started off with Medeski, Martin, and Wood. And if you go back to the like early '90s with the Horde tour with the Aquarium Rescue Unit, because that's where Fish and Widespread Panic got their start. Blues Traveler, Medeski, Martin. I'm forgetting other bands. I feel like the Spin Doctors were on that lineup, and
because I saw that Medeski, Martin, and Wood are headlining like Jam Cruise.
You should go see them.
A lot of the older heads were like, "Fuck yeah, no way."
Medeski, Martin.
Yeah. You mentioned something about, who did you just say?
Aquarium Rescue.
Aquarium Rescue. And
I want to talk about Colonel Bruce Hampton for 3 hours.
Look,
if that's okay.
I have it written down right here, Colonel Bruce Hampton, because I feel like we have a lot of conversations off of the podcast where you bring him up to me. And I know we talked about him the day we were drunk, but in one ear out the other.
Yeah. We kind of touched on. This is a day for elaborating on what we brought up that day.
So I want to know, like, because I hear that name a lot, and I know that you mentioned Fish kind of like plays a part with that too. Yeah. So here's your time.
Okay, here's all I have to say is Zambi, and that's it. That's all I have to say, and that's really all there is to say. So Colonel Bruce Hampton was. People say he's the father of the jam band scene. Okay. He started off in the 70s with the Hampton Grease Band. Their first record was Music to Eat. And Dwayne Allman from the Allman Brothers was really good friends with Bruce, and he got the Grease Band signed onto Columbia Records. And the Grease Band Music to Eat record was the second worst selling record in Columbia Records history.
What's the first?
It was like some yoga instructional thing.
Okay.
And it was like, it was just really bad. But it's like, the record itself is fucking brilliant. And it's like people, I can't remember the lead guitarist's name, but people said he was like the Trey Anastasio of the South. I say people, my buddy Jerry Grillo, who wrote the book, The Mythical Mythocracy and the Life of Colonel Bruce Hampton. I think I got that title right. He wrote that book. Go check it out. Just look up Jerry Grillo and you'll find his book on Colonel Bruce Hampton out there. You can also, if you want more information, you should go watch the Colonel Bruce Hampton documentary, Basically Frightened.
Basically Frightened?
Basically Frightened. And
What's that on? Do you know?
You can find it for free on YouTube, but if
Okay.
you want to support the Colonel Bruce movement, you can go pay for it somewhere.
He's
I don't
passed
know.
away now, right?
So Bruce passed away on his 70th birthday show at the Fox Theater with John Fishman was on stage, Warren Haynes was on stage, Derek and Susan.
He passed out on stage.
He died, had a heart attack on stage at the end of the encore. The very last song, died of a heart attack.
Poetic, though. There's a poetic part of that, for sure.
He was just wild like that. I think he chose to do it, and we can talk about why, and that's just from things that Zambi's told me. Joe Zambi, who was Bruce's best friend. I was introduced to Joe through my piano teacher, Johnny.
Okay.
I met him at my piano teacher's funeral, because Bruce died in 2016, then my teacher, Johnny, died in 2017. I might be confused with that. Maybe Bruce died 2017, and then my teacher died 18. I think,
But
yeah,
either
I
way,
think-
it was a year apart.
yeah, they were a year apart. I started taking lessons from Johnny right after Bruce died. And I remember hearing about Bruce because he was like an Atlanta staple in the music scene. And my buddy Zach and I, you met Zach, you know
Yep.
Zach. Him and I were in a band in high school, and the first record, or the first studio we went to record like a couple like covers for our first band, I remember sitting behind the control booth while someone was laying down a track, and Eric Snipes, the guy who was in charge of that studio, was like, do you guys know, I don't know how it came up in conversation, but he was like, do you guys know Colonel Bruce Hampton? And he told me he was like, famous guy, father of the jam band scene, gave all these jam bands like their start, like through Fish and Widespread, got these guys like if you go see Panic, you see right in front of a Dwayne Trucks' drum kit, you see like a road case with Bruce's face on it, and it says Zambi right above it.
Okay.
And that's their shout out to them. Like if you ask anyone in Panic, their biggest influence was Bruce. And
Okay.
I hope I'm not putting words in any of their mouths, but I think I've heard them say that. So, but it's Panic was very inspired by Aquarium
And
Rescue
was-
Unit and them.
Was that his like biggest project? Was the Aquarium Rescue Unit?
That was, I guess, the most popular one because
Okay.
that like band gave O'Teal his start. Jimmy Herring, that was his first band that he was in. Now Herring plays in Panic
Yep.
after Mikey passed away, and it was Aquarium Rescue Unit is
So
one of the
who
most
else was-
brilliant.
Was Colonel Bruce Hampton like the frontman guitar player?
He played guitar. He also played this instrument that he called a chazoid, which is it's like an electric mandolin, but it only has
Okay.
4 strings. And he would play a slide on it and just like summon demons through it.
So it's Colonel Bruce Hampton, Jimmy Herring, O'Teal, and who was drummer?
Jeff Sipe, who lives in town, and Brevard. Have you heard Jeff yet?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah,
get him
yeah.
on the podcast. I want to get him on
Dude,
the podcast.
you can. It's not hard to get
I
him on.
messaged him on Instagram. I figured I got to just go up to him in person. or
Yeah,
something.
go talk to him, or I can introduce you to people who know him. My buddy Carson.
I know Isaac would do it too.
Oh yeah, Isaac knows. Yeah, because they play in their new Dawn Star
Yeah.
Orchestra.
That's crazy. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I
Jeff
knew that
is the
Jeff
ARU
Sipe-
drummer.
Yeah, I knew he played in like some big groups. I didn't know he was in that one.
Mm-hmm. That was his first like popular band that
So
he was
that
in.
it was Colonel Bruce Hampton, O'Teal, Jimmy Herring, and Jeff Sipe.
The craziest fucking lineup of musicians ever. And then they also had Jeff Mosier. Do you remember seeing those videos of Fish back in like 92 or 93 when they were learning how to play bluegrass? There's like these videos of like them backstage and they're all learning how to play bluegrass, and like you see it, like I know I've seen a bunch of those videos on like the Groove Deli Instagram page, or I think MusicNeverStopped Instagram page has also posted some of those too. And Jeff Mosier, who was the banjo player for ARU, was documenting a bunch of him teaching them how to play bluegrass. Like he was their kind of bluegrass coach. Mosier played in ARU, And Matt Mundy, you have to say his name 3 times. He was also the mandolinist of ARU, and he's from Conyers, Georgia. And he was just a brilliant bluegrass musician. And then O'Teal and Jimmy got their hands on him, and they showed him like a bunch of jazz vocabulary, like introduced him to like Sun Ra, Coltrane, Miles Davis. And then he became like one of, I think, the most brilliant mandolin players on the earth ever. He still lives in Conyers, and he sat in with Panic recently, the last time they played the Fox. I think it was after Jimmy got over cancer. No, it might have been before Jimmy
That was
went
pretty
in.
recent, too.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
They've only started touring again recently because Herring recovered from, I think he had throat cancer. Everyone was worried about him, but I think they caught it at a good time. So
Damn, that's funny because like I saw when I went to Widespread in Charleston the first night there was an after party and I didn't know who was playing and I was like, quite frankly, I didn't care. I just wanted to go to the Poorhouse.
yeah,
So I was like, I'm here. I want to go check the Poorhouse out. So we went, and then like the drummer comes out on stage and he's just like crushing. And I knew it was Jeff Sipe, but I didn't say anything. And Chloe was like, "Who's that guy?" And I was like, "That's the Jeff Sipe dude from Isaac's band." And she was like, "No way!" So that was like a cool thing. But yeah, I didn't know that he was in that group with them.
that's Jeff Sipe. Jeff Sipe also was in Sean Lane's trio with Sean Lane and Jonas Hellborg.
Isn't that crazy? The musicians that are just here, dude.
Yeah, and you don't realize they're like some of them are like the most sweetest people. Jeff is one of the most sweetest
Yeah.
people. Like you would, if you didn't know, like if you just heard him playing, you'd be like, "You're a great fucking drummer," and like you don't realize that he's played with Warren Haynes, all the ARU guys.
I mean, even the people that aren't like Jeff Sipe, just like Hannah Ramsey, Alex Bazemore, Isaac Haddon, like
Yeah.
these dudes are our age. And
There's
just,
hope
like,
for the future,
Yeah,
man. There's
they're
hope.
Nice, they're
Yeah.
nice. I've seen you picking up gigs everywhere, playing whatever instrument you can.
I just want to play. I don't care.
Is it so? I've seen you play stand up, banjo, keys, guitar.
That's probably about it.
That's probably that.
That's probably about it. Yeah.
That's still pretty crazy.
Thank you. Were you about to say something?
I was gonna say, which one's the worst one you're at?
Ooh, probably banjo. Maybe upright. I haven't practiced upright a lot recently.
I don't mean to say this at all to be mean, but when you played with Sons of Stars, the show was slower. I was like, it made me appreciate how good Jackson was at stand up.
Yeah, dude, no, I called Jackson immediately after the show. I'm like, "You do a really good job. Your job is hard." I was like,
feel like you don't think of like the bass, like at least for like a casual, like just going to see. You look at the like mandolin player and the acoustic guy, and like that's kind of what you focus in on, and the bass is just doing its job back there, you know.
Yeah.
Except for when Jackson has his solos, he goes off.
yeah, he gets it.
But like the end of the show,
Good.
I was like, they felt slower today. And Chloe's like, why do you think it is? I was like, I think it maybe because Ethan was on the bass.
Probably.
But I was like,
I don't play bass like that. So.
yeah, so I was like, I didn't want to like try to shit on you
No,
or anything.
but
But
I'm very aware of
but does that
what
make,
I'm-
was that an accurate guess by me? Is like,
I think so.
okay.
Yeah, no, I was getting worn out because I don't play upright bass, and it's such a physically demanding instrument. I did play upright bass, like in high school. I was like, they had a classical program in my school, so I was able to like get up and like sight read bass every day, and that really helped with my chops and my reading abilities. And if
It's way different than when it's Alex and Johnny.
super different.
Yeah.
Well, like they lay it down and they really send those songs Jason on the fucking banjo. Whenever
Yeah.
I would like notice when I was not doing that great personally because like Jason would be hesitant to take a solo, but I felt like the times I just like shut my brain off and like just lay it down, don't do nothing fancy, just fucking play and give the band what they need.
Yeah.
I would notice Jason could like actually like rip it during solos. Not to say that he couldn't when I wasn't properly doing my job, but he was just, I could feel that he had like that wiggle room to kind of say what he wanted to say on the banjo. I'm like, okay, and it kind of gave me more cues to be like, this is what I
Yeah.
should be doing. and
He's
stuff like
the
that.
least like animated person on the stage, and I feel like I've seen that with banjo players before, where they're just kind of like in
It's
their
just their
spot.
vibe.
In their spot in the state. Is there a reason for that? Like, you know how like Alex or anybody in guitar kind of will go up or like they'll be down, but a banjo player is always just kind of like in the same spot. Does it kind of have to be like
Yes,
that?
Clint. Well, a fair observation to make because, and this is a fact, every banjo player is autistic. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But no, it's like there's like a banjo vibe, like how drummers is like classic drummer vibe. And I'm stereotyping right now. So like
Yeah.
obviously not every banjo player and drummer is like this, but like most drummers are like the guy from the Muppets. What's his name? The Muppet guy.
I don't know. I,
I
didn't
forget his
watch
name.
that show.
Jaden made me watch The Muppet for the first time. The Muppets Take Manhattan. I saw that for the first time a couple days ago, and I slept through it. So
Gotta watch it again.
Animal was the drummer.
Okay, I got you.
That guy. But yeah, no, that's just kind of the stereotype from what I've gathered.
I didn't know if it was something with the actual instrument where it's like you just have to keep it kind of still.
You kind of do, yeah.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, there's not very many banjo players that are like rocking out, like going crazy, because it's like.
I imagine that Torrent dude from Kitchen Dwellers. Probably gets a little
he gets
loose with it.
down.
I've never seen them. I saw them once live, but I was a little fucked up.
Kyle Tuttle gets down.
Yeah.
Kyle Tuttle, like, it's very impressive in my opinion when a banjo player is able to, like, maintain like all the physical necessities that are like that you need to play banjo, because there's a lot that goes into it. But like once you get it, you get it. But also, it's still very rare to see a banjo player freak out. My buddy Carson, who plays with Jeff, he's out for blood whenever he plays.
Okay.
I like watching him because he'll get it. But he also does like a jazz fusion thing. I don't think that he plays banjo like a guitar player, but he plays a lot of tunes and takes a lot of inspiration from a lot of guitar players that I know of, like Sean Lane, John McLaughlin, like a lot of single string stuff. Because when you play banjo, you're like, you do these roll patterns, and you're supposed to incorporate the chords and the melodies with the roll patterns. And sometimes, and then that's like rolls, where there's like melodic style banjo, there's Earl Scruggs style banjo, and then there's single string style, which is where you just kind of play one note at a time, like a guitar player would be taking the solo.
What did John Hartford play?
Hartford played banjo and fiddle.
Well, like what style? Do you know that? Or?
Oh, he played like a lot of like Scruggs style, but he also did like the Bill Keith style, and which is kind of melodic style. It's like, so the Earl Scruggs style, like you can look into like the way it's played. Like there's a lot of very particular ways to play like the licks that he would do, like the Foggy Mountain Roll, the Foggy Mountain Break, or like different banjo vocabulary that you just kind of incorporates a lot of the open string stuff. And
beers will get you, dude. They'll get you.
Especially them IPAs. But they it's like you can incorporate like a lot of like open string stuff and chords, and you fret whatever notes you need. But then the melodic style banjo, what that did is you would play up the neck on notes that are typically higher, that aren't in the same register as the lower string notes, and then you kind of play them in like a weird pattern that you wouldn't, that as a guitar player I'm not typically used to. But when you play it on the banjo, it's very stepwise, but it sounds very cascading, like a waterfall. That's my kind of like description of it. Yeah,
I've been trying to learn bar chords in the guitar.
Shit's
just
hard. Especially
just
on the
F.
acoustic, bro. I just recommend either get lighter strings or get an electric guitar and practice your bar chords there.
I can do the F now, but I have to like, I go from like this, and I have to like kind of put my guitar up to get my finger down on it.
I would like capo when I like was really trying to get that F shape, especially a couple years ago, because I played a lot of electric and I didn't need my fingers to be that strong. But then when I started playing more acoustic, I was like, oh, my fingers actually can't do this shit because I'm not used to doing this. So I would move like my capo to like the 4th or 5th fret, where the frets are a little smaller and the string tension isn't so hard, so that I could play those bar chords a little easier. And then I would just practice it there and then slowly move it down a fret until I was like more capable of doing it on the open strings with no capo.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I teach music if anyone needs music lessons, because I need money.
I gotta get you over here, dude. Give me a lesson.
I'm down.
We were talking about some of your projects. I want to talk about. I haven't seen you guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow when this comes out, Friday.
Yeah.
The Miller Sisters.
The Miller Sisters has been a fun gig.
Yeah.
so far.
It's you, Jackson, Raina, and Jaden.
Yeah.
And are you playing banjo on that?
I'm playing banjo. I play a guitar in a couple tunes. We got some surprises and special guests this Friday for French Broad, so it's gonna be different than the past 2 times we played, but it's gonna be cool.
How sick is that to be like in a, like I think of it as like you and Jaden probably had like initial attraction to each other at some point because of the music, right?
I had no idea she played when.
Oh,
I was
really?
talking to her. Yeah, but actually, well, no.
But even still, you were going to shows and stuff, so it's like, oh, we
Yeah.
have this music thing in common.
Yeah.
And now you guys are doing it together. Like that's got to be
really good.
pretty cool, right?
It feels really good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, look
Yeah.
at you. It does feel good.
Yeah, it feels really good. She's really talented. I love playing with that girl, and especially Jackson and Raina. They're so fun. They're so solid and they're so fun to play with, and especially the history that Jaden and Raina have singing together their whole life. Like Stephen and Christy taught them how to. They've told me stories where like Stephen and Christy were teaching them how to harmonize when they were living in their bus. Like they'd be playing like Emmylou Harris or Carole King or whatever, and like I can't remember what tune Jaden told me that her mom taught her how to harmonize on. It was her mom and her her Meemaw taught her how to harmonize, and I can't remember what it is. She's gonna be like, "How did you forget that?"
I know they like that Catfish John song.
They do.
Yeah.
They kill Catfish John.
Yeah.
It's a good tune. But I don't know. You can hear the history of their playing together, like, and you can tell they've been doing it for a while, and it's just very real the way they sing music, and it's just like, I don't want to put words in Jackson's mouth, but for him and I, it's a real joy just to get to watch them and see how they do it, because they're so like trained in music just from listening, like more trained than some people that I know that went to school for music, and they know how to do all these things that are like super theoretically complex in terms of like harmonies and like what notes they're harmonizing with and like how to react to certain chords that are coming up. So it's like, and they have no idea what they're doing, which is like the coolest part about it, because it's just like it's so intuitive to them. And
So it's mainly just like their show, and you guys just are playing the tunes.
we're supporting them.
Yeah.
We're just back there, just making our girls look good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So it's tomorrow, Friday, at French Broad, 6 to 8.
Yes, when the podcasts come out, it'll
be tomorrow, yeah.
Yes, but yes, Friday 6 to 8, French Broad Brewing.
Free show, right?
Yes, I believe it is a free show, but you can throw money in the tip jar for us if you so desire. Bring your friends, bring your mom, bring your grandma. It's going to be a party. Bring some dancing shoes.
I'll be
What do I
there.
say? Yeah.
If you come, I'll give you a free sticker.
Yay, get a sticker. You know,
All the stickers
you know
are
you
free.
want a sticker.
So what other, like, I know you play in a lot of Asheville projects, and it seems like there's a lot of new ones coming on. We've mentioned now a couple times Kid Blast, the Led Zeppelin thing they're doing this weekend.
Yeah,
It
the
seems
pocket full
like
of gold.
Yeah, it seems like at least once a month there's a new project going on. Is there, like, what projects are you watching that are you getting excited for?
In town, well, my favorite thing is, bringing it back to Jeff Sipe, is Sipe, Hill, and Moore. Carson, Asher, and Jeff have their little trio, and they're playing fully improvised music, and it's banjo, bass, drums, and they just murder, dude. They are one of my favorite groups that plays in town. Jeff Sipe's brilliant, so I love getting to catch Jeff.
Yeah, I got to get him on the pod, man.
Yeah, man. Get Jeff, get Asher, get Carson, get all three of them on at the same time.
That's my next financial goal for the podcast, is get a few more mics so I can have people.
Yeah.
Because when I did, like, Mountain Grass Unit one time, and it's like 4 people in the band.
They
and
have
they're
to
all
share a mic.
passing it around. It's like,
Pass it to the right.
ask
Nice.
this guy a question, he's going to pass it, and by the time you get there, it's like, just kills the flow of everything. But one of these days I'll get one. Clouds of Illusion, though, that's a project that I get really excited about.
Yeah.
I don't see them as much as I'd like to, because they're always playing on
We
weekdays.
saw them last night. Yeah, they do play Monday nights at the Third Room.
I watched them on the I Am Asheville thing on Saturday.
Oh yeah, that was a killing show. They
Yeah.
had Nate on the keys. I felt so silly. I played at Pisgah the night before, and I kept thinking that gig was on the 9th rather than the 8th. So they asked me to play that night, and I was like, I can't. I got a gig. And then I realized that my gig was on the 8th, and I was like, fuck, dude. I'm like, I could have made it. But
Damn.
Nate on the keys plays in a Fish tribute out in Greenville, killed at that gig. He sounded really good, and they all sounded really good. It was good energy at the One World. Everyone was like really having a good time, and
I just love to see a Grateful Dead band that's that young, too.
yeah,
Like, Luke, Zach, and Jackson are kind of like the core of it, I feel like. Because usually it's Ian on keys, right?
Luke, Jackson, Garrett.
I always
Garrett,
I always call Garrett Zach.
Zach. Garrett, Zach. They all, Jackson, Zach, and Garrett live
together. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's why I mixed it up. But
I met, sorry.
real quick side note, actually, Luke, I watched you know how like YouTube will give like the 20-minute Nugs preview for like certain shows?
Yeah. I know.
They did it for the Billy show, and they put it into the spinner section. And
You
Luke
saw him.
Yeah,
you saw him
Luke.
right smack dab. Him
Luke
and Kai
was
were
right.
out there.
And my little brother's name is Luke, and he's like not in the jam bands.
Yeah.
And I was watching with Chloe and my roommate Sam, and I was like, "Yo, that's Luke." And they were like, and it was like right after we
Your
smoked.
brother's not at
It was like right
GB60.
after we smoked, and they were like, "Yo, how high are you? Your brother's not up there."
He's not going to see Dead and Co. Stop being silly.
No. But I think I interrupted you. What were
No,
gonna
you
say?
good. I met Luke, Jackson, and Alex a week apart from each other, and I met them not in Asheville. I met Alex and Luke, I believe, was there, and Ellie, and I can't remember who else was. I met them in Greensboro at a Billy String show in 22, I think. Mm-hmm. And me and my buddy Will Hutchins were walking around the lot just like looking for people to pick with. Like,
Alex told this the story when you played with him.
Yeah, we were walking around looking for just looking for anyone to pick with. We got our tickets. We went there. No, actually, we had tickets for that night. So we got there. We're like, fuck it, let's just look for people to play with. And we're wandering and playing at the same time. And then like one dude pokes his head out of the van, and I think it was Alex. He said, "Are you guys trying to pick?" And I was like, "Yeah."
That sounds like Alex.
And they all hop out of the van. Like, it was like a clown car. They all hopped out. Alex gets his mandolin. Luke's got his guitar. And that was probably like 2 hours before the show. And I think we sat there and picked until like even past when Billy started playing. And then we were like, we saw everyone going in. I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess we got to go in now.
Yeah.
And we walked in a little late, but it was so fun picking with those boys. And then a week later, I went to Augusta, ran into Luke again. And, excuse me, Alex wasn't there that time, but that was when I met Jackson. And it was so funny. I didn't even realize that they all lived in Asheville. We were like outside at set break. Some lady tried to offer me $500 for a poster that I got that night. I should have taken it.
That's crazy not to do it.
But I got the poster still. So, but
I'll give you $400 for it.
Hey, no, I only take 6 now. It's appreciated now. but I met them during set break, and we were all just sitting on the curb talking, and we were just talking, and we were like, "Oh, we gotta go back to Asheville." I'm like, "Wait, y'all are in Asheville?" And we just then found out that like we didn't talk about it at all when we were in Greensboro, and then we all realized that we were all in Asheville. And then I didn't see Jackson again for like another year until the Tuesday Night Funk Jam. And he wasn't even 21 at this point, and he had X's on his hands. And I thought he was older than me because he's so fucking tall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, you're in Nashville. And we forgot that we were in town there. And it was just, yeah, and it was really funny how I met them. And
One of the first times I hung out with Jackson was at, what's that bar next to his dad's? Fraser's?
Fraser's,
Yeah. We went there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm so glad I can finally come up here and get drunk because it's been close to my dad's. I haven't been able to come up." And I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "I'm only 22."
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're what?" I was like, I thought he was like at least 30.
Dude, I know. I forget. I have to remind myself. I'm like, I'm older than Jackson. I have to remind myself of that sometimes.
I mean, he looks older, and for the most part, he carries himself.
He acts older, too.
Yeah, he carries himself older.
He can be stoic. He can be when he's not being
Is Raina
silly.
the same age? Are they
Raina just turned 21.
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. It was in May, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. Because we went to Fraser's for Raina's birthday.
Good little crowd here in Asheville.
It's such a good family, dude. I didn't even know that anything like this would be
Are you
possible.
a permanent resident now?
I'm going to die in these mountains.
Yeah.
I ain't going nowhere, bro. I will probably like travel for gigs or whatever and go see other places because I enjoy it. But I always want to come right back to these mountains.
You were living like in Chattanooga, though.
No, I never lived in Chattanooga.
Oh, okay.
I went from Gwinnett County, where my parents still are, and I grew up in the Atlanta perimeter area, like metro Atlanta area. And then 2020, I moved to Silva, North Carolina. Went to
like
school.
40 minutes south?
Yeah, southwest.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's like
southwest.
before Hendersonville?
No, it's after. But okay, so Hendersonville is like dead south of Asheville, and Silva is you take I-40 and you go.
There's
like
that exit to Silva on your way to
the
Hendersonville.
Waynesville exit, and then you go Canton exit, and then you go down I-40 for a while, and then you take the Waynesville exit, and then you're in Silva, and that's like about a 50-minute drive. I still have students that I teach out in Silva, so I go back there at least once or twice a week, and I host a jazz jam at this little solid freaking sandwich shop, coffee shop called White Moon. They're White Moon during the day, and then at night they become a speakeasy around 7 p.m. and they become Dark Moon.
Nice.
So I host a jazz jam bi-weekly on Wednesdays at Dark Moon. This Wednesday, tomorrow now, yesterday when the podcast comes out, I don't know yet. Jaden and I may play a pop-up gig in Silva, or I'm going to go to Bela Fleck Camp, and I'm going to go to Brevard.
Okay.
I think I might go to Brevard.
They have some pretty cool camps at that place, right?
Yeah, they got the Bela Banjo Camp. They have the Brian Sutton Guitar Camp. I went for a day of that. I was coming back from a gig from Charlotte, and I poked my head in just to play with people. Because, like, at night...
Jackson did like a
Jackson went to Victor Wooten Camp, which is in Tennessee near Nashville.
He has a brother, Ray Wooten? Is that
Ray and Reggie.
Okay.
Reggie Wooten is the guitar player of the Wooten brothers. I think Ray might be one of their brothers.
One of them's Future Man?
Yes, Future Man was the drummer for the Flecktones.
Okay.
Or the drum machine guy.
You should, if you haven't listened to the podcast with Lindsay Pruitt, listen to that one. There's some funny Future Man stories.
Oh, wait, Lindsay knows Future Man?
She like that was like her first like gig, like first like touring gig thing. He was just like, "You're gonna just come with me."
Like, come on, we getting some stuff done.
Yeah, and it was. She has some pretty crazy stories about him. So check that one out. It's a good one too.
Okay. I think I watched some of Lindsay's episode. I like get started on them, and then I never finish podcasts.
Yeah,
I never finish podcasts. I'm so bad about it.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who listen to these.
I know. Well,
Just listen to them. Just finish them, guys.
I'll finish. This is probably the first podcast in my life I've actually finished because my friends are on it. I'm like, I want to go see what my friends have to say.
Sometimes I will listen back to them because I mean I have to listen back to them to edit them, and usually I'm like a week or two ahead of schedule. But
Yeah.
like I told you, I've been traveling so much. That's why we're doing this on Tuesday for the Thursday podcast.
Yeah, it's good. You just staying on top of your schedule.
But if I like do one like 2 weeks, edit it, and then just put it out when it comes out, I'm like, let me listen to that one. I remember it being good.
Yeah, just to make sure. It's like I like to listen back to the shows I play, just like be like, did I actually sound the way I thought I did?
Yeah, that's the problem too. Is sometimes I'll listen and be like, damn, I interrupted them. That was a good chance for a question. I'll be like, I could have asked this question instead of that question.
I mean, like that's the whole name of the game. Like, especially like when hearing you talk about the podcast and like it's making you more knowledgeable about music. I think music, when it's done correctly, is a conversation, and like that's more so the case with like improvised music. But because like it's a question answer, call and response, like a theater improv type thing,
Yeah.
and that bleeds into music as well. So it's like if I'm on guitar and you're another guitar player and there's a band backing us up in a rhythm section and it's like we're trading or whatever, I could be like you go and then we just do that for 2 hours.
We could do it right now.
We could.
That's basically what this podcast is. Just jam band conversation, improv conversation.
Well, it's the same. It's all very similar. And going back to talking about Bruce, my teacher Johnny, he taught me a lot about music, and he ingrained a lot of like theoretical things that just had to be like I'd had to know like the back of my hand. But it felt like most lessons that I took with him, he more so was trying to teach me about life rather than music. But the more I go on living in this world, I realize that the lessons he taught me about music perfectly are perfect analogies for the lessons that we have in life, and then vice versa. The life lessons that he taught me are perfect analogies of how to approach music. And that's what I think. I don't know. I think.
Yeah, I used to coach soccer, and like I would try to do the same. Like whenever I would be like, I'm telling you to do this for the soccer, but like think about it for like as you're doing anything. Like I'd be like, don't half-ass this drill, but you shouldn't half-ass anything. If you don't want to do this, then don't do it. But if you're coming up here to practice twice a week, your parents are driving here, you want to do it right. So don't half-ass it if you want to do it.
Yeah, and that's why I chose music, because I didn't really want to half-ass anything I
Yeah.
wanted to do. I didn't want to have like a main gig that I'm like, oh, I gotta just do this so I can put food on my table and just go on and do the fun stuff outside of that. It's like people say, do what you love, and I didn't.
God damn, it's so hard.
It's hard.
It's
It is
so
hard.
hard.
But that's why you're doing this, and that's why I'm playing music, because
Yeah.
we got to try at least.
Yeah, man, I've been kind of struggling with the whole job thing lately.
Yeah.
Just I've lived here for less than a year, and I've had 4 different jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been committed to the podcast, though. That's been what's
Yeah, I've been
happened.
doing this a lot, and
Yeah.
that's kind of sometimes like the hard thing with it too. Is like I do this, I spend a lot of time on this, and like for the most part, I get to go to a lot of shows for free,
Yeah.
which is nice. I get to meet cool people, which is cool. I get to go to Halloween this year for free, which is fucking huge.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I do it all. I'm like, am I just talking into the void? You know, like
Yeah.
doing these things. Like who's even listening to this? And I'm sure you've probably felt the same way at shows when like 10 people show up and it's
Yeah.
like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, it's like
Do you feel that way? I guess I'm just assuming.
No,
but-
there are times like that's part of like just anything you choose. It's like you're like at any point in your life when you're trying to commit yourself to something you believe in, you're gonna be like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this? And it's always the people who are persistent and the people who are just stubborn that stick it out are still the ones doing it, and like eventually are able to make something of themselves.
Yeah, Chloe's always like, you can take a week off, or like, you can take a month off and not do any episodes. And I'm like, as nice as that might sound, it's like I have way too much momentum now for like all the work I've put in for the past however many months to just like take a break. because I'm tired. And I was like, what am I gonna do with that free time?
Yeah.
Sit my ass on the couch and like not do anything?
Well, there is going to be, if you take that break and like whether you come back or not, there's going to be someone out there who's like, I missed the podcast.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Clint?
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
Yeah,
dog.
and I do think that like I see how many people listen to it, and some episodes there's a fuck ton. Some episodes there's not that many. Some episodes there's 50, 60 people that listen to it, and I think to myself, I'm like, imagine if I went and gave us, or me and you sat on a stage and talked. If there was 50 or 60 people out there,
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. So like I try to tell myself that and like think of it prospectively, but sometimes it's just like, who was even listening to this?
Yeah, but like it's like kind of like what Bruce would say, or like other people. It's like, even I would say I would be playing music. Like if people were like, "Thank you for playing music," I'll be like, and my typical answer is like, well, I'd be doing it whether you were listening or not. I would be doing it. And
that's like you said, like I've learned so much from this podcast. I've made friends from this podcast. So it's like, even if no one listened to it, I still believe in it. Yeah. And I interviewed, do you know who Chris Dyer is? Like the artist guy?
No, but I remember you posting his name.
Yeah. He was like, I was like, what like makes, I asked a question about like what keeps him wanting to do art. And he was like, I don't do this for nobody. Yeah. He was like, of course I get paid sometimes to come do it. So then I'm getting paid to do it. But he's like, I'm not doing an art because they want it. It's like, even if they pay me, I'm still doing what I want to do because it's my art. And I was like, it's a good way to look at things.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to do it for yourself because anytime, I don't know, it's like, and going back to like, because we were talking about on the first podcast, like the whole industry and like music managers and producers and record executives, like, or even like, I don't know, even like art connoisseurs, like people who don't make art. Like there's a lot of people, in my opinion, trying to make money off of, there's a lot of uncreative people trying to make money off of creative people. And some people would probably argue that with me because if you're able to create a way that makes money and in some ways helps the artist get a platform to be seen, that is a form of creativity. And I understand that. But there's so many people like Spotify, when you look at like the Spotify owners, like paying their artists like 25 cents for every 1,000 streams.
It's like criminal.
It's criminal. No, it's literally they're robbing artists, and us as artists are letting people do that because it's like they have a chokehold on us. It's like, well, it's the only way I can get my streams out because, and I hate to say it, and some people are going to be like, but people are like, we're fighting the man. We're not going to release our album on any major streaming platforms. We're only going to put it on Bandcamp. So if you want this record, you have to pay us $10 directly, and that's cool. But I'm not going to do that. I don't do that. I know I don't do that. And I could love your band. There have been lots of bands that I love that only put their records out on Bandcamp, and I don't listen to it. Yeah. Because of pure convenience and the way the world is set up, and it sucks, but that's the way it is. So it's like there's a lot of people who feel they have no other choice but to sign their soul away to some record executive to make all those decisions for them.
Like I can't imagine like if someone came to me and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you $500 a month. But this can only go out on this platform."
And then they start telling you how to do your podcast
I would.
You're like, nah, bro, keep your $500, bro.
Yeah, I would like draw the line there. But if they were like, you can only post it here if we give you this amount of money, I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah. But you got to also think from their perspective. It's like, how much money? Number one, how much money are they making to where they know it's comfortable for them to offer you $500 and still be making enough money for them? And like I said, would they be making decisions for you? And number three, it's like, could you do the job that they are offering to do for you so that for yourself? Could you do that on your own? And then could you cut out that middleman so you could be making that money and learn how they're going about it through advertising or maybe connections that they have so that the podcast or whatever it is you're trying to push out into the world can be seen and be put in front of people. It's like, there's a bunch of factors that you have to consider when you're signing yourself and your creative endeavors away to someone to manage you or something like that.
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, again, this is a situation that probably never happened to me. But if someone was like, "We'll pay this amount of money, but we're in control of it," I'd be like, "No, thank you." Yeah, I'd be like, "I'm not interested in that."
No, because that defeats the whole purpose of
what I'm doing. Yeah.
It defeats the whole mission.
That was kind of like when I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but when I interviewed Cotter from Goose, their manager, whoever I talked to, was like, "You can't ask this, or that," and I was like, Come on.
Oh, I know what he would.
Well,
I know exactly what you weren't allowed to ask about, and I bet the listeners could too.
Well, one of them I asked.
Oh.
They were like, don't ask Cotter how he got in the band.
Oh.
And I was like, how'd you get in the band, man? And he kind of didn't really answer it, but I knew the rest of the questions I couldn't really get into. But because I guess they were doing like auditions with him behind Ben's back before they let Ben know.
Oh, so it was just drama.
Yeah.
It's just little shit.
And he didn't say that. Like, he was just like, oh, I'd played with them before, and like I was doing this with them. So like, but I asked him before the interview, like, can I ask you this question? And he was like, yeah. And I knew the other two were like
off the table.
Obviously,
I could guess what one of the other two.
It was about the previous drummer. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've heard, and I know some of my buddies who have played gigs with the Goose guys before they blew up have told me a little bit about that situation. So I understand them not wanting to ask about that situation.
Well, I just wanted to know, like, what the fuck is up with the whole organization thing? Like, they're calling themselves the organization, and like he didn't sign an NDA, and like
because they're not a band, they're a fucking they're a corporate organization, and that's the one thing I hate. And I've like, don't get me wrong, I've heard cool Goose songs and I dig what they stand for. Would I pay money to go see them? Probably not. That's me personally. But
I think they're a better studio band than they're like a live band.
And that's not a common thing for a lot of jam bands, I believe.
Well, I think Rick is a really good singer and a really good guitar player.
Singer, excellent guitar player. What's his name? I forget.
Peter
Aspinch, whatever. Killer keyboardist, also a killer guitar player. They're all great singers. They murder. And Ben, I've heard Ben play with Goose, but I saw Umphreys McGee, and Ben was sitting in for their drummer when he had his shoulder incident.
He's out now, right? He left.
I think the Umph drummer finally left, but before that happened, Ben was playing for him for a while.
He plays at Houseplant now.
He fucking murdered, bro. I don't know who Houseplant is, but when he played with Umph, like, he killed that shit. It's like, I could tell he grew up, like, the way he played, loved Umph. And I think I've heard like interviews of him talking about how he does love Umph, and like to get that as a musician, like I don't know, it's like you're gonna put your best foot forward if you're playing with a band that you look up to like that.
Yeah.
I always tell like Jaden and my friends, it's like, and this is a wild audacious claim, but I would never want to go on tour and be on the road and away from my family and friends unless it's my own project that I put together and is my baby and I love and made happen. Or the only other way I would do it is if I was playing keys for like a Billy Strings electric band. That was it. I would only, so Billy, if you need a keyboardist, hit your boy up.
So like if like, here, let me think. If you're telling me if like any other touring band was like, yo, we want you to play this, you'd be like, no.
No, I don't care. Maybe Tedeschi Trucks Band.
Really?
Maybe. But like other than that, if it's my gig or Billy, I don't want to go on the road. I love these mountains too much. I don't want to go. And it's just like, I know what the road can feel like in small bursts of it. Just going to like 2 weekends ago when I went to Virginia to play Floyd Fest, or like going to Chattanooga playing with Davey at Jerry Fest. Like I'm down for that, but like it can wear on me. And like I probably sound like a little wuss, like talking like, just driving 3-4 hours in a weekend really hurts, because it gets to me because I have my students and I have my gigs here, and then I got to dance around that. And I what I've built with my students and my people that I play with here, it's like I love that, and I don't like leaving that. And if it were something that I had to be on the road from and be away from my students and my family and everything like that, I wouldn't really want to do it unless it were like in my heart. And I can see where Ben put that foot forward to play with Umph, because it was just obvious. Ben loved Umph, and he was honored to get the call. And
you talking about your students in a pretty serious manner.
I love teaching.
I was going to say, would you consider yourself like a musician first or a teacher first at this point?
I think it's both.
You can't have one without the other?
Yeah, I can't have. Well, because if I were just playing gigs, I'd be starving. And if I were just teaching, I'd be starving for like experiences to get up and play with my friends. It's like, and like I wouldn't have any substance to teach my students. Exactly. Because everything I've learned that I teach my students, I either learned from my teachers or stuff that I learned on stage. Yeah.
Cool.
And it's just very fulfilling. Like I remember when I was young and I was trying to figure out something on my guitar or my piano or whatever, and it was just, I was struggling with it for a while. Like I remember when I learned how to tap, like Eddie Van Halen, I was like, I wanted to do it for so long and I didn't know how to do it. And then when I finally like sat down and figured it out, I went back to my guitar teacher. I was like, look. And he was like, hell yeah. And I could see the sparkle in his eyes that he was proud of me, but I didn't realize how good that would feel as a teacher when I see my students achieve something that they've wanted to achieve. Like, it's better than, like, I've played for good sized audiences, and it's like, I don't care about people cheering for me. It's like, it's a way better feeling when my students like achieve something that they wanted to achieve, because it reminds me of what it feels like when I got it.
100%, dude. Yeah, I mean, I played soccer my whole life growing up, and I had some really good coaches that like I loved.
Yeah.
And then I got to coach for a while, and I like to think that like to some of those players, like when they get older, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, I remember Coach Clint."
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
Like, yeah, and like there were times they'd be like, I would tell them to do this thing in practice, and then in the game they would do it, and like they would do it, and they would look at me like immediately.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, you did it."
Exactly. I don't know. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling
Yeah.
being able to pass that on down to the next generation. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah. There's a lot of things about it that I could say. But again, going back to like my teacher Johnny, it's like that's why like I don't get on stage without thinking about Johnny. I don't get on stage without thinking about my guitar teacher Jeff, or my other guitar teacher Michael Brown, or yeah, I have a lot of people that I stand on the shoulders of, and anyone who is doing anything in this world, whether they're a jam band trying to be the next Dead or Fish or whatever, 20 years from now when someone's trying to be the next Goose, it's like you got to know where you came from, and you got to know whose shoulders you're standing on and all that stuff. It's like when people talk about like even like from back in the 60s or 70s, like you talk about bands like Led Zeppelin or what are some other, like even the Grateful Dead would like cover a fuck ton of tunes. People don't realize how much of the Grateful Dead were actually a cover band before.
The greatest cover band of all time.
One of the greatest cover bands. It's like, and it's like when you realize the songs that, or the artists that any band we listen to now, what they listen to. It's like, I don't know, when I was learning guitar, I was like, I loved Jimmy Page. And then when I found out that like Jimmy Page stole all those songs, the Led Zeppelin stole a bunch. We can talk about that later. But they also had their influences from like Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Albert King, all of the Robert Johnson, all of the old Delta blues guys. They stand on the shoulder. Zeppelin and all the other great British invasion bands or rock and roll bands, American bands, they all stand on the shoulders of blues musicians that came before them. And when people don't acknowledge that, it's just sad to me. It's sad to me. And it's not only sad, it's like if you're a band that's not really studying what your influences did or why they do what they did, you're not only robbing yourself of the joy of just your heroes' perspectives, but you're also robbing the audience of a true like authentic experience of what the music is supposed to stand for. And it's like, yeah. Sorry.
I think that's what makes Billy Strings so cool, dude. Is like, I got into Billy Strings like maybe around COVID, maybe right before COVID, right after COVID, and I didn't know any bluegrass people. Yeah. Like I knew the name Earl Scruggs, like I knew that name, just because like it was around, you know.
Doc Watson, Tony Rice, those names just float around in the atmosphere.
And now it's like Doc Watson, Tony Rice, John Hartford, like all these guys that like Billy Strings has showed me. And it's like he really makes an effort to do that too. To like. Yeah. I remember like a couple years ago, it was Doc Watson's birthday. He did a whole set of all Doc Watson songs.
Yeah, that was in...
I think it was 2 years ago.
Where was that? Yeah, that was. I wanted to go to those shows really bad, but it was 2 nights. One night was on Doc's birthday, and they did like a bunch of Doc songs.
Yeah.
And then the next night, he did his standard like Wargasm, Heartbeat of America, like was playing the new... it wasn't Home record, it was Renewal.
Renewal.
He was playing Renewal. And like that was like right around when that album came out, so he was like pushing those tunes. But yeah, it's like you can see how Billy really acknowledges where he came from. It's
when I was living in Tampa, dude, I missed so he comes to Tampa like once a year because that dude Andy, his like
sound guy,
yeah, he's from St. Pete.
Cool.
There's actually a funny story how he like became that, but that's neither here nor there. But I had to go to a wedding that weekend. He played in Tampa. And the night he played in Tampa, he did 2 sets, obviously. The first set was Train Set. Yeah. The second set was Animal Set. And it was like Old Slewfoot, like All Fall Down. And then the other one was All Trains, and I was like,
Yeah.
that's the one I fucking missed, dude.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Damn.
So we're already at an hour.
I'm gonna take a little break.
You want to take a break?
I need to pee.
Okay, let's take a break.
Let's take a break. Bye, guys.
Alrighty, we're back.
We're back.
Got another beer. Smoked a little Splifficini Alfredo.
Splifficini Alfredo. I like that one.
And we're back. You said you want to finish some Colonel Bruce?
Sure. I love talking about Bruce. Bruce is cool, man. He was just every day. So my piano teacher, so Hampton's 70th, when Bruce died, there's this photo that my teacher Johnny had, and there were no lights. Supposedly, there were no lights from the backstage area where the curtain sat.
Okay.
There were no like stage lights, and there was this like light beam that was above Bruce in the photo. That the only way it could have been there was if there was a light beam coming from behind Bruce, and there were no lights, and that was Johnny's story. He was like, there are no lights behind the stage, and Johnny would start every lesson with this same story. He'd be like, that was when Bruce's soul left his body before he walked out on that stage. And he would tell that every lesson, man. And he was like, they were best friends, and he loved him. And it sucked, man, because when I met Johnny, he was like, he came into a time where his wife had just passed away, and then Bruce passed away afterward. And it really crushed him. And he was in a rough time when I met him, but he was really sweet. He just taught me a lot about life and what it meant to be a musician, how to make money playing music, and how to do it in a way that benefits you and everyone else that you're doing it for. He just like taught me how to not half-ass stuff, and I'm still learning how to not do that. But he was a big character in my life. And then when I heard about Bruce and his connection to him, I didn't realize, like, Bruce and his friends that I met after Johnny passed away were just like, I'm like, these are my piano teacher's friends, like Jeff Mosier, all these guys, Jerry Grillo, who wrote the book.
I feel like I've seen that name.
Jerry Grillo, he's an author. He writes a lot of articles, and he wrote that book. But and like I met Jim Lauderdale through these guys. I didn't even know who he was, and then I realized he just like played with Emmylou Harris, played with everyone, and they were just my Grant Green Jr. And then I realized who Grant Green's Jr.'s dad was. He's one of the best bebop jazz guitarists ever. Like when you talk about jazz guitar, like you talk about like Joe Pass, Pat Metheny was later era, Tal Farlow, all those guys. Grant Green is up there with them, and just was a brilliant player. And then his son is a brilliant player too. Learned from George Benson, and these are all Atlanta guys, and they were all my piano teacher's friends. And I didn't realize how heavy the whole scene was until like I started going on Fish Lot and like seeing like Zambi swag. And
yeah, you probably grew up in a pretty like jazz focused area.
Atlanta's
right? Like
very
Atlanta,
jazz oriented. Yeah, there was Vinkman's, which was a great jazz jam. It was on Tuesday nights or Wednesday. I think it was Tuesdays or Thursdays in Atlanta. Joe Granson used to host that, and now he hosts a jam at Napoleon's on Monday nights in Atlanta. So if anyone's in Atlanta, go check out Napoleon's on Monday nights. Red Light Cafe on Thursday night. It used to be the I can't even remember that venue's name. I would take not the Velvet Note maybe, and then
Do you know who Morgan Beavis is?
no.
He's a local Asheville dude. He's in a band called Shed Bugs. He does like just a jazz. He's a big John Coltrane fan.
Yeah.
And he does like just a jazz little side project too. And I've never checked them out, but like I see their clips on Instagram sometimes, and they seem cool. They play at like that rooftop bar somewhere downtown.
Is it not Hemingway's? That's
It's
the
like
Cuban
something on
restaurant.
8th or something on 6th or something. Or
Okay.
6th, because it's like the 6th or 8th floor, wherever it's at.
Some tall building.
Yeah, somewhere downtown. But he does a little jazz group down there, and I'd like to check them out one day.
Hit me up if you want to go.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I wanna
Morgan,
check
let
it
us
out.
know.
Come on, Morgan. Let
He
your
was
boy
at
know.
Shed Bugs was at the All Jammed Up thing.
That's where
Yeah.
I saw the name. I remember them because it was them and Kendall Street, and of course our boys. We love our boys and sons.
Dude, there was a band Pickety Split that played.
Pity
first.
Split. Oh yeah, that's a. Oh gosh, I feel so bad. I always forget your name, and I feel so bad. I picked with them out in Billy.
Luke and Cooper.
Luke was who I picked
He's
with.
on the guitar. Cooper's the man.
Yeah.
Dude, they weren't
Yeah.
jam grassy at all. They were like more traditional bluegrass, but they crushed, dude.
No, they
were
kill.
really good.
I love playing with Luke, man. They shred.
And he hasn't been playing guitar that long.
I remember him telling me that. I remember
He's like maybe 2 years, 3 years in.
He's got me fooled.
And that dude,
He kills.
Cooper, I want to say Cooper's like 19. And
Yeah, they seem young.
he's got the perfect bluegrass voice, dude. Like they were kind of like, I put them first. So I was like, I like these guys. I'd never even seen them play at that point, but I was like, I like them. Put them first. You know, they're the smallest band, whatever. And like, my uncle, who's like not into that kind of music, was like, where can I find these guys? Are they on Spotify? Like they crush, dude.
Cool.
And their stand-up place, I think her name is Talia.
Yeah.
She just joined the 65 North Pickers. I don't know if you've heard of those guys.
Of them.
I think they're like a newer bluegrass band from Baltimore, maybe.
Baltimore, northern bluegrass. I know some northerners who really know how to pick.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
No, what's the word I'm looking for?
Have you heard that band Magoo?
No.
Dude, they're playing at a music hall, not this Friday, but next Friday. Sons of Stars is opening for them.
Okay.
They're fucking so good, dude. They're from Denver.
What is that? The 20-somethings?
21st? Does that sound right?
Maybe I'll see if I'm free.
Yeah, I would. That Magoo band, dude, they do it really sick. Pretty Daughter.
Speaking of, what do you prefer? Do you like Raisin Cane's or Huey Magoo's? Speaking of Magoo's.
I think Huey Magoo's is kind of ass.
I like their sauce.
But I think Raisin Cane's is also, it's good, but it's just kind of overrated.
It's overrated. Yeah. And
Zaxby's is good.
You know, well, okay, so Zaxby's actually comes from Guthrie's. Guthrie's was
that was an old school.
It was a whole thing back in the 80s, like in Athens, there was a Guthrie's, and they were a chain, and I think they were across other states, but they were in Athens, and like my mom, she went to UGA, she told me there was a thing like people would like to go to class, they'd smell like a certain type of like fry batter,
yeah.
And they'd be like, everyone would be like, you just came back from the Magoo's, bro. No, Guthrie's. Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Hardee's fried chicken is fire.
Oh, I gotta disagree. I don't.
Dude, Hardee's breakfast.
Hardee's.
Hardee's breakfast is the best breakfast you can get at fast food.
Dude, nah, best breakfast, Chick-fil-A, and I'll die on
those
that hill.
dry ass biscuits.
Yes, bro. I love them dry ass. Don't you dare talk about it. Dude,
dry as fuck.
Chicken minis.
The chicken minis are fire. And those biscuits, those little mini biscuits aren't dry.
No, those are pretty buttery.
But then the actual biscuits for like the chicken biscuit, they're dry.
I feel like it depends on the day. Depends on the
Hardee's
Chick-fil-A.
though is slaps all the time.
Hardee's is more consistent, but I can't say the word slaps.
and if you had the Hardee's chicken tenders, like they're like hand breaded.
You know, I actually have not. No,
they're fire.
I haven't tried the Chick-fil-A chicken tenders yet, but they seem promising.
You know what used to be good? I can't imagine a good now because McDonald's is ass now.
Yeah.
But the chicken selects used to be really good.
What is a chicken select?
It was just chicken tenders.
Oh.
But it was like, you know, the chicken nuggets are like that.
It's like that weird like meat
Paste.
glue that they like form, and then they just put like a weird enclosure of fry batter around it. It feels like Golden Corral chicken. Like it's a step above Golden Corral. I think Golden Corral has the worst chicken.
You have not caught me in a Golden Corral,
dude.
At least 10 years,
dude. I will go for the chocolate. The fondue thing, not the chocolate. Yeah, they have the cheese and they got the chocolate.
Oh, that's probably good. That's hard to fuck up.
Yeah, bro.
Melted chocolate or cheese is hard.
And it's
to
just
fuck up.
there, like you just dip your strawberries.
That's how you know we just got high. I said the band Magoo.
We started talking about food.
And we just immediately went to
let's talk about fried chicken for the rest of the podcast.
My favorite fast food, Taco Bell. Cookout's good too.
See, I'm just so used to like. I can't say Cookout's good because like so many nights I'm coming home and I have no other choice but to get Cookout and I get burnt down on it. Maybe.
Sober fast food, Taco Bell though.
I've never been to Taco Bell. You know, Del Taco.
I prefer
Del Taco.
You've never been to Taco Bell?
I liked when the Doritos Locos Tacos came out, and like that was about my main Taco Bell phase.
That was like 15 years ago.
I know.
Dude,
I was like probably
they have
8 or 9.
New, like Cantina burritos.
How old I was.
They're so good,
dude.
I'm trying to do like a super healthy, just meat, fruit, veggies, and eggs.
Yeah, I feel like that's the way humans ate for thousands of years.
Yeah,
like we aren't supposed to eat foods that come from factories. I think you can be. I respect vegans. I respect keto people. I respect whatever. What is the thing where you only eat fish? Pescatarian. I respect pescatarians, but I think it's just like we've eaten meat, fruits, veggies for millions of years, as
Yeah.
long as humans have been around, and I think that's what we're supposed to eat. And
But then I
sometimes
get
don't always do that.
stoned and I'm like, dude, let me get some donuts.
Give me Sour Patch Kids
Yeah,
right now. Give me
yeah.
the biggest fucking thing of Sour Patch
Nerd
Kids.
clusters. Have you had those?
Ooh, those are, dude, I'll
so
like
good.
pick all the nerds off and I'll just get the little gummy part of it. And I just want those.
I love ice cream cones.
Ooh, yo.
A little chocolate at the bottom.
Weird side note, I'm traumatized. I can't eat Oreos because my sister, what she would used to do is she would like take the Oreos when she was like 5. She would like lick all the cream out and put them back together and put them back in the thing.
Back
And so many
in it.
times I just had a creamless cookie and I'd be like, I don't want to throw up. It was bad.
Yeah, I don't really eat Oreos that often. I like Oreos like in things.
I like Oreo ice cream.
Oreo
Oreo
McFlurry.
cake. Yeah, McFlurry's solid. Yeah.
But, like-
Cookout shakes. All right, you're right.
Yeah, but a cookout or just an Oreo McFlurry by itself is like, or just an Oreo by itself I can do without.
Yeah, I don't like Oreos. I'm not too big a fan. But the garage is going up. It was weird.
You can hear it. You can hear it.
Microphone to the ground. So
That's
maybe
probably
I can-
Sam going to work out.
Ooh, he's like gotta hit them gym.
That's
the
what he-
iron.
He doesn't miss a day, dude. That dude's a grinder.
Respect. Yeah, that's yeah.
That's why he looks like that. I look like
Yeah.
this.
Hey, sometimes it's the way it goes. I look like this because the only exercise I get is carrying amps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also because sometimes I don't eat. But
Unless it's Huey Magoos.
I know talking about all this food, but all the Magoos, man. Yeah, and what Bruce taught me was that food and community is what you do. It's like you just musicians should get lunch. I don't think musicians get lunch together enough.
I don't think people get lunch together enough.
It's very rare you just like hit your boy up, be like, hey, let's go get lunch.
And when you do get lunch with somebody, it's the same person you get lunch with every time.
yeah.
I think that's a good place. Like that's why they say break bread.
Yeah.
That's another reason I like doing this podcast. Is like, how often would you and I sit down for an hour and just talk?
Exactly, and that's kind of the thing that sucks about it because the life that we're intonated into, we just required to go, and
Because imagine if I texted you yesterday and I was like, hey, do you want to come sit on my porch and talk for an hour? You'd be
Honestly,
like, you probably would do
I
it.
probably would.
But you'd be like, that's kind of weird.
All right, I would be like, is Clint okay?
Yeah.
You want to talk about anything?
But I'm like, hey, you want to do a podcast? It's like, yeah, sure, I'll come do that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Same thing though.
Yeah. I wouldn't do nothing today. You could have texted me and we would have not done the podcast. I probably would have came and hung
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
We gotta get up and play guitar soon.
Yeah. I would say we should play guitar after this if you didn't have to cook dinner. But sometimes we just got to cook dinner. But also, Sovereign Kava, Tuesday nights. I want to get Clint out to that sometimes.
One of those days we're gonna be
It's
out
a
there.
good hang. It's a good hang. I like it out there. I don't know. Just a lot of great musicians come out. I miss the Tuesday night funk jam. Josh Blake, Lee Allen, all those boys, Murder It, Ben Biorley. The Asheville staple musicians. Those are the guys because we have our dead scene. We have our jam band scene. But they're guys who I really look up to that not only play jam band music but like play really excellent classical musicians. They play funk music really well. They play jazz really well. They play bluegrass really well. And they're well-rounded, and then they go and play funk jams on Tuesday nights.
Do you know anything about that J. Lloyd mashup?
Yeah,
online?
Jonathan,
Yeah, what's
so-
up with that thing? I see it every week.
He's
like-
from Atlanta, and when I moved here, and I was like, oh, I'm from Atlanta. They'd be like, oh, you know Jonathan Lloyd? And then I met him when I moved here, and he's one of the sweetest people ever. Plays trombone, used to play with like Kofi Burbridge, O'Teal's brother, before he passed away. Played with Kebby Williams, the horn player of Tedeschi Trucks Band. Like they're all boys. They're great jazz musicians, just excellent. Just like they can be excellent hired guns, and they know how to put their own groups together and just play excellent music, and they do it very seriously and very professionally. Jonathan is one of my heroes who I look up to in the town as a musician, and yeah, Jonathan's excellent. They put a new set list together every week, and he'll send the whole band the sheet music for everything. He'll arrange it, or him or the horn players, or he'll find the charts for him.
Maybe I should get him on the podcast.
Dude, get Jonathan Lloyd on the podcast. I bet he's got some fucking stories,
Yeah.
bro. Him and his wife, Emily, just got married. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, Mr. J. Lloyd.
Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd. Mr. and Mrs. J. Lloyd. But, yeah, J. Lloyd mashups, One World West, Monday nights. Those are fire. I've
Yeah, I
been to a
never
good bit
make
of
because
those.
on Mondays I'm like never doing anything.
I either got gigs or I'm just tired of shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I feel bad, Jonathan. I'm sorry we don't come out. But
Because I'm going to like 4 shows on the weekend. Like
It's kind of your job to go to shows.
Yeah, I gotta check
you
one.
Poor Clint.
Well, now I'm working Tuesday to Friday, 7:30 to 3:30. So it's like, it's nice though, because like on a Friday it's my Thursday, but it still feels like Friday, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like if I have to go to work Saturday and I'm a little like dragging ass, it's okay because that's my actual Friday.
Yeah, real Friday.
And then I got Sunday, I gotta go to some stars, and then Monday I'm usually just like at home all day.
You're like, I've been going for the past couple days. I think I'm gonna chill.
But you know, football season's about to start.
Ooh, what's your team? You call SEC or are you talking NFL?
NFL. I like the
NFL,
Bucks.
okay.
I'm a Bucks fan.
Okay, well, I have no affiliation to
Are you a Georgia
either.
fan?
A what?
Georgia?
I'm from Georgia.
Yeah.
I like the Dogs. I can't say I like the Falcons because, one, I don't care about the NFL enough, and two,
Y'all
they
suck.
haven't had a good season in a long time.
Yeah.
And every now and then, anytime Falcons get close, they're almost there, they always drop the ball.
The Bucks played the Falcons' first game of the season, I think.
And that's where I lost it because I know so much, I know so little about football to where I just know Falcons suck, go Dogs.
Yeah, I mean the Dogs are a good team to be a fan of.
I love the Dogs. I'm just lucky to be from the Athens vicinity to where I'm grandfathered into being a Georgia fan. So, and also the times I've played in Athens, it's like there's a rule where you can't start playing at night. If you got a gig at night, you can't play until the Dogs win. And the last time I played in Athens was at Nowhere Bar with Abby Bryant, and I think they were playing Georgia Tech, and it was supposed to be an easy win. And it was like the most overtimes that any SEC game had in like, I don't know how long. I think it was like 9 or 10 overtimes. I might be
crazy.
wrong, but it was so long, and we were fucking tripping because the
Was
owner,
it LSU Georgia? Because LSU went to a
think it was
crazy
LSU.
overtime game not that long ago.
Maybe you might have to fact check me on that. It was one of those colleges that are really good at having a bunch of nerds, but like sometimes okay at having good football
Sounds
players.
like Georgia Tech.
Sometimes like Georgia Tech, yeah, they got and I love those Georgia Tech boys. I used to play a lot of Georgia Tech frats back in high school, and they taught me how to smoke weed and drive on 985. So, yeah, man, and the last time we played there, they were like, Dave, the owner of Nowhere Bar, was like freaking out because he was like, okay, so you guys better hope UGA wins because one, that means you can start, and two, people won't be coming in here fucking crazy and starting fights. Because if UGA had lost after going into that many overtimes, they would have came into our show and it would have
Drunk
been
as
chaos,
Yeah.
bro. And that's why the widespread panic crowd is the way it is, because they're from Athens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Yep.
if you're wondering, go to Athens, Georgia during SEC season, and you tell me that you still don't understand widespread panic fans.
I've said this a million times in the podcast. People are like, "What kind of music is widespread panic?" I say SEC rock and roll.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
And everyone always is like, "Yeah, you're 100% right."
It's actually pretty spot on.
And I probably say it once a week on the podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. the number of quotes that you have in the podcast, that's the most repeated one.
It's probably pretty high up there.
Yeah. But no, Bruce really got widespread panic their start. There was this one time where Panic, they like opened up for ARU and they almost like quit. Like they almost stopped playing, and they were so like, according to Jerry, what he said, Jerry Grillo said, he said that it had, they said that it had dismantled them. And they were just freaking out about playing, and they just had to decide, like, we have to be ourselves, and and that's the one thing I do love about music is like you can't it's not a real competition. You cannot fake it but if you're truly expressing yourself and you're playing yourself, there's no this person is better than me, and that is the truth. Like there are a lot of people who are better than me, better than any other musician. Like there's always going to be someone better than you who may know more licks or may know more tunes or may know more theory, and it's like whatever, maybe have a better ear, and it's like there's so many different aspects that could label you as a better musician, and that's what Bruce would teach people. He would make his band members in ARU walk up and down. They wouldn't rehearse. They if they had a new song that they had written or tried to learn, they would during a sound check hit the main parts of it, be like, okay, we're good. And they would never when they would get together and rehearse, they would either break bread like you said, or Bruce said, or O'Teal said that Bruce would have them walk up and down a flight of stairs and stare at each other and gauge their intention. And then Dave Schools kind of elaborated on it, and he was like, well, what are you here for? If you're looking at someone that you're riding in a van with every day for a month, 2 months, 3 months, and staying in hotels with and playing on stage with. It's like you got to be like, what are you doing this for? Are you here to rock? Are you here to get girls? Are you here for money? Which is never the case.
Was Dave Schools involved in Aquarium Rescue Unit at all?
Dave Schools just plays bass and Panic. And,
Okay, but he wasn't involved with Bruce Hampton at all?
I mean, he played with Bruce, probably
Okay.
played other one-off gigs with him, and he was there for Hampton's 70th at the Fox Theater. And I just know so many people who went to the Fox Theater for Hampton's 70th.
Is that in Massachusetts?
There is a Fox Theater somewhere up north, but the Fox Theater is in Atlanta.
Okay.
That Bruce died at.
Gotcha,
the Fox Theater in Atlanta. Yeah, but
and he was from there too, right?
He was from Atlanta. He was born in Knoxville, and then he grew up in Atlanta. Like, I think he lived in Atlanta. Actually, I think his family lived in Atlanta. So I think he was from there his whole life. It was so funny. He was such a wacky dude. He would drive. He had this job that Zambi told me about. He had this job where he would drive around as a bus tour guide in Atlanta, and it would be like people, like from like other countries, like that didn't speak English as a first language, and he'd be like, and here's the mayor of Atlanta, and Zambi would walk on the bus, and he'd like, and here we are outside of Margaret Thatcher's house, and it was some lady cutting her grass, and he would just be saying random shit. He would look at you, and he'd be like, August 24th, and you're what is that, a Leo or whatever. He would guess your birthday and guess your astrology sign, and he would be right more often than not. And he would just like freak people out, and like he just had these weird like little tricks. He was such a quirky dude, and that's why people kind of like followed him, like with a cult following, and everyone kind of had the Zambi religion going on, and it was funny. They called it a cult, but they'd be like, "We'd pay you to not be a part of our cult. We'll pay you to not be a part of this." And
that's good. They
were just quirky. They were really weird, and he definitely had some degree of, I don't want to say magic to him or some weird like aura that was happening with him, but he was definitely a quirky guy.
Yeah, I believe it if you feel this way about this man that you never met. Like,
I never know, but I feel like I know
the stories
him.
You hear. Yeah, I mean,
because
that shit is real.
Well, so many people that I do know that know him, just like, yeah, they talk about him and think about him every day, and like he was. Yeah, I don't know. I just say do your research, go watch the documentaries and read the books about Bruce. He's a very influential figure, and talking about like knowing whose shoulders you're standing on in this business. It's like I feel like, and all you Goose boys, whoever you are, and I mean that sincerely, especially if you are a member of Goose listening to this podcast.
If you are, come on.
If you are, come on the podcast, just like Cotter. But I recommend, and I apologize if I'm being audacious and making claims that you don't know Bruce, but you guys should do your history on Bruce and know why we're playing what we're playing, and not only just for, and I'm just kind of being a smart ass in that regard.
If there was anyone in Goose listening to the podcast, they turned off way long ago.
No, you don't know that. You don't know that. That's the thing is, you do not know that. You do not know that.
We started talking about that German situation. They were like,
no, their managers turned it off. And then I would be one of the members being like, why the fuck do they not want me to watch this? What are they hiding from me? What are my managers trying to keep me from? Yeah, but I think even as a jam band fan, you should do your homework and know who Bruce was and know his connections to like Pigpen. Like him and Pigpen grew up, and they were friends. Yeah, they were friends. His dad, Pigpen's dad, was the whenever Bruce went out to San Fran, he was like the radio show host of a blues radio channel, and Bruce would go out there and he met Ron.
He's a person I'd like to know a lot more about. Pigpen.
Pigpen? Yeah, well, I mean, like the Pigpen era, and if you ask like Billy Kreutzmann, it's like his favorite era was, and like even I think Jerry and Bobby have said it, was like when Pig was in the band. And that's not to talk down on Keith or Brent or
There was a different
Vince.
soul in the band.
It was a different vibe, and it was the authentic energy that they started the band with from the acid test. Like, and they were just a couple of kids fucking dosing together, and it didn't have the labels, it didn't have the executives, it didn't have the managers at the time. They could just express themselves, and it was a real beautiful thing that they started it from. And then I don't know, I get really discouraged when you look at the legacy of the Dead, not in terms of like what they brought on musically, because they brought a lot of beautiful things and like created a lot of beautiful relationships from the fans and just like them knowing each other. But it was just like the way the Dead became just this money machine, and the way they bled Jerry dry to a degree until it killed him. And even after he died, like they're still
GD60 was good,
yeah,
though.
it's like $800 tickets for the rich fans, but it's like the kids can't get a chance to see. And I say that, but like everyone I know got in. Fucking no one.
I have such like a mixed opinion on GD60. It's like you can say like this, that, and the other, money, blah blah blah, or like Jerry would have hated this, blah blah blah. But it's like, and people are like, Bobby's too old. Bobby sucks. Shouldn't be doing this. But it's like, this is what it is now.
It is what it is.
And like you can either just like be like hate on it, and or you can just be like, hey, this isn't as good as what the Grateful Dead was. This might not be as good as Dark Star Orchestra,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean it's still a place to like. You're still there with the people, and like I feel like the people is kind of half the experience.
No, it should be the entire focus of the experience, like breaking bread. It's like
Yeah,
it's like the whole point of music is to bring people together, and when people get all up in arms like, man, this band sounds this way, or this is going on this way, it doesn't matter. As long as you're bringing people together and like creating joy or facilitating a space where joy can happen. And as Bruce and Sun Ra would say, space is the place, and they meant that musically in life and in physical terms. It's like if you have a space for people to congregate and just like share love and love each other, that's what the whole game is about, I think.
I feel like we should wrap it up right on that, brother.
Boom.
Ethan,
Cool.
thanks for coming on, dude.
Love you, Clint, man.
You just got jammed.
Well, howdy. Welcome back. Good on you for sitting through that long interview, but if you did, you're in for a treat today.
We have a fun Chloe's Corner.
We do have a fun Chloe's Corner.
So it's it's a Billy topic.
So after his Saturday show in Minneapolis, I saw the set list and I was like, this is almost a perfect set list for me, at least.
Yeah.
And then
So
I
then we got to thinking.
I was driving home from my buddy's bachelor party, and I got to thinking, I was like, what would be my perfect set list for Billy Strings? And I was like, it could be a good idea if me and Chloe made our perfect set list, talked about them on Chloe's Corner, put them on Instagram, and let the people talk.
Yeah, let the people decide. So you guys, we have put together what we believe would be our ideal shows.
It doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah, is what we like.
It's what we like. Do you want to go
Mine-
first?
Yeah, I could go first. Mine ended up coming out to like an hour and 30 minutes. So pretend it's a festival set, maybe.
Well, that's also, I don't know if there's a way to share playlist on Nugs. If there is, let me know and I'll share it with you. But we made our playlist on Nugs, and hers was an hour 27 because maybe just the ones I chose didn't have that long of jams.
Yeah, I think a couple in here we could have picked jammier ones. We just weren't thinking
Because
about
there's
that.
a 3-minute All Fall Down and there's 20-minute All Fall Down. So it's
Yeah.
like, which one you picked?
Yeah. So, okay. So we'll start. Set one, I come out with Don't Let Your Deal Go Down.
Hold on, where's your show at?
Oh, okay. So I kind of have a Western
when is it?
vibe. Fall.
Fall?
It's fall show.
Okay.
I have a Western vibe, so I wouldn't be opposed to like. I wouldn't mind Idaho
Idaho, okay.
for this.
So Idaho in September.
Where is Idaho on a map? Very central?
No,
No?
northwest. Or, yeah, northwest, like
Northwest.
next to
Okay,
Oregon.
nice. So I picked an okay. Oh, next to Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah, good spot. Good
Good
job
spot.
on me. Come out with Don't Let Your Deal Go Down. And then we go into Sophrony, into Train That Carried My Girl from Town, John Deere Tractor, Stratosphere Blues, Taking Water, Stonewalls and Steel Bars, Hollow Heart, and Secrets. I really like the Secrets closer for the end of the set one.
that's a good
Yeah.
one. The Steel, what is that one song?
Stonewalls and Steel Bars.
I don't even know that song.
I don't know who originally did it, but I used to I knew that one from a while ago. And then when I was scrolling through Billy Bass and I saw it on there, I listened to his version quickly and I was like, okay, yeah, that deserves it.
Let me look real quick. So
Yeah.
set one.
Let's go over my set.
Don't let
set
your
one.
deal go down. Fire.
I think that's a nice to come out to. Let everyone find their seats, but you could still sing and dance.
Open with some covers. 4 covers to open up.
Okay, so that was one thing I did not take into consideration. I do think I'm probably a bit cover
Well,
heavy, so
when
we'll just
we-
say someone died and it's for them. This
Well,
all
when
their
we said it, we said 10 originals, 9 covered. I think that was
Yeah, and I didn't do that.
okay.
Yeah.
And
I think
what-
I maybe have 7 originals total.
Is there a song that you would want the jam to be in this one?
It's not really a jammy set.
Okay.
I think you could probably extend Sophrony and Train That Carried My Girl From Town. I think you could
Yeah.
maybe make those long. I did that with down here on my second set thing too. I think you could just make those super long.
Yeah, we'll go
so
ahead into your
first
second
set, yeah, not too jammy on the first set. We're Western, we're upbeat. Second set, Blackjack County Chain, Happy Hollow, Sharecropper's Son. And then we start to get a little deeper, a little heavier. We go Dealing Despair into 15 Steps, which was that excited
good
me.
one.
That excited me, and I really want to see that in real life. And then Long Forgotten Dream, and then I love the ending of mine. Pretty Daughter, In the Morning Light, The Beginning of the End, and then I have my encore. And you guess which one it would be.
Mm-hmm.
It's Richard Petty.
Let me see yours real quick and see how
We have
many
a couple
songs.
on there. Similar?
We have.
I know we had the one.
2. Only 3. So that's pretty good, I would say. Only 3 of the same songs.
I feel like you could do something super funky with Dealing Despair into 15 Steps. I feel like they're kind
Yeah.
of, I don't know anything about music, but they seem the same pace, same pitch.
Well, we kind of talked about that in the interview with Ethan. We were like talking about like once you learn more and more about music theory and like knowing what songs are in the same key and like what you can go into, which like obviously we don't know, but
No, but that's like,
maybe you're right.
that's like all the mixing and DJ stuff too. Like we were watching a Tipper show the other night,
Yeah.
and it's just all about time and tempo and pitch, I guess. This is me not knowing what any of those words actually mean, but it makes sense in my head. Again, I don't do any research. I don't fact check. Hit us with yours though.
All right, so this is mine. Open up with Leadfoot. Just get the people going.
Get
Get-
the engines revving.
Then kind of keep it up the same beat with Everything's the Same. And then kind of slow things down, gets funky, Ride Me High.
Ride Me High, first set, third song.
First set,
We're
an early
busy.
Ride Me High.
We're
yeah.
busy.
And then kind of slow it down. Just a song that I love, Blue Virginia Blues.
You do love that one.
And then this one is a little 3-song run he did in this Minneapolis show. My Alice, Pretty Daughter, Psycho.
Sick.
Just songs
Sick.
about men
Being crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
And then Living Like an Animal.
Nice.
And then
I
the-
almost picked that one on mine as well.
And then to close the first set, Meet Me at the Creek.
Are you doing a long meeting?
jam? Yeah, a long jam. And that'll slow down. That'll end the first set. And the second set, Old Slewfoot. See how long you can do it.
Nice.
And then-
How long would you want? Realistic.
No, the one where you know how like beginning of Old Slewfoot, he's like, ah.
Yeah. How long would you want? 17 seconds?
As long as you can.
32 seconds.
As long as you can.
I wonder what his longest one is.
And that's how you start the second set. That's a great way to start the second set because people hear
Yeah,
that, run
yeah.
back to their seat,
I agree.
and then into Sophrony, keep the fun going, and then get dark, all fall down. Third song again. And then slow it down. Get people out of the darkness they were just in. Show me the door. A nice sway song
Yeah.
with your loved one. And then Red Rocking Chair, Taking Water, get darker, get back into darkness with Highway Hypnosis.
You want to be down and dirty, huh?
Back into Highway Hypnosis, and then Red Daisy, get you out of the darkness.
Pretty.
Finish with one of my favorite songs, New Country Blues,
Nice.
and then encore, a slow, nice Gilda Lily.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You're fast. You're fast and you're dark.
That's what I like, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have the Show Me the Door
No, you definitely have. I feel
and
like
Blue Virginia Blues are kind of like my neutralizers.
yeah.
Yeah.
You come back to earth, get
The
out
rest
of
of
the
us-
tunnel. Yeah, you got to bring people out of the water for a second, then
Yep,
come back under.
exactly.
When I think of like my perfect set, I always feel like I like it to start kind of romantic. You play like you're slower, you're sweeter, and then the second set is when you get dirty. That's always how I like picture how I would form my own thing.
At a Billy String show, I want like one romantic song.
Really?
I want to dance. At Grateful Dead, I like
I
a
could
few
dance
like
to romantic.
a few romantic songs for Grateful Dead. I like.
Yeah.
But like for like the Billy String, I want.
Well, romantic doesn't always have to mean slow.
That's true.
Yeah. So, You know, but I love both of ours. I love mine more, but
These will be posted on Instagram. Not if you're listening to this on Thursday, they won't be out on Thursday. They're gonna go out on Friday. Comment which one you like more, or off your own set list. Maybe you love Chloe's first set and my second set.
yeah, mix them up.
So let us know.
Tell
But,
us what you would switch.
Yeah, and maybe if people like this, we can do it more with different bands.
Yeah, yeah. And Billy, if you ever are in Idaho again and you are itching for a set list, you can use mine.
Oh, mine. I didn't say where
Oh,
mine
yeah.
is. Mine's at Huntsville in 3 months.
Huntsville in 3 months, perfect. Yeah, good. We'll get
Or
it
2
over
months,
too.
whatever it is at this point. Do you have any other topics to cover today?
Let me see if anything real quick.
We don't need much because the interview was so long.
Oh, I did have a funny one. Who would win in a fight, rapid fire?
Let's hear him.
Okay, Billy Strings or Daniel Donato?
Billy Strings.
Billy Strings or Andy Frasca?
I don't know. I feel like Billy Strings was probably fighting when he was a kid.
You think so?
Yeah.
Scrappy?
Yeah.
Little junkyard vibes. Billy Strings or Nick Shoulders?
Billy Strings, dude.
I feel like Nick Shoulders would
Nick
just bite
Shoulders
him.
has probably never been hit, dude.
He'd just bite him. Billy Strings or Shawn Eccles?
Shawn Eccles, dude.
Shawn Eccles or Nick Shoulder? They're two of the same.
Shawn Eccles.
Shawn Eccles or Alex Bazemore?
I don't know. Alex probably got a
It
little
depends
psycho.
on what creature he's in. It depends on what mode he's on.
Alright.
Okay, that's
Is that it?
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Fun weekend here in Nashville. We got the Miller Sisters tomorrow, Friday, and Disco. And then Saturday, there's
Saturday
is
there
the Led
is-
Zeppelin tribute band that has
Yep.
Bailey, Zach, Ben, Hannah, and Alex Bazemore. So go check that one out. And then I have a lot of good interviews lined up. So the next couple weeks are going to be fun. So stick around. And have a great weekend, guys. We'll see you on Monday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Come along, have a drink with me. We can talk about the world and how the world is turned so slow. Day and night I found cars they drive and planes they fly. I look into the sun and the sky, you're so bright. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know there's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down. The moon and the stars, they sail across the sky, and I could watch you dance all through the night. When the rhythm is right, oh, and I know the sun is rising now. Or if the world would just slow down. So you move with me and I'll move with you, and I could spend the rest of my life by your side. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know it's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down. much longer now, or if the world would just slow down.